13 million years ago, the first trucked vehicle emerged, known as the tank. Fast forward to today, and this species of vehicles have diversified exponentially. This is true for the tanks and the players who are in control of them. All the species of tanks live in harmony. Without one, the entire ecosystem would collapse. Except for artillery players. They can all go straight to hell. Here we can see a creature native to the lands of North America, the vet. They are opportunists, waiting patiently for their prey to come close before striking. The camouflage they employ does not keep them hidden, rather serves as a warning to those who dare come too close, as the vet often attacks those which it has no hope of killing. A T-44. It is 2 tiers higher than the vet, packing a 100mm main armament. The vet is severely undergunned. Not deterred, the vet dives headfirst. This, however, is where the vet's remarkable adaptation comes into place. The vet can survive on extraordinarily low amounts of food or experience, only needing a single meal to survive. This means the vet can YOLO or attack anyone so long as they get their one shot off. Strangely, the vet prioritizes one-shots, despite the fact that they are less nutritious. In the vet's mind, a kill is far better than damage. This, however, usually leads to them starving to death. So, they resort to low-tier seal clubbing, allowing them to feed with relative impunity. Vets that have survived their encounters and have had multiple feedings mature into the adult form, the E3. The vet has completed its life cycle and now lives to be a nuisance for others, usually targeting a different creature found scarcely around the areas of World of Tanks, the unicum. An apex predator of World of Tanks, their power is unmatched. There are actually 2 subspecies of unicum. The first one is the sweaty. These players, with their Clan Wars reward tanks, believe they are playing CSGO and act accordingly. They have no concern for their team. They only strive for large damage and WN8. They are the lesser unicum. The greater unicum, also known as the Giga Chad, is stronger than the sweaty. Their skill comes from their advanced game knowledge, rather than the overpowered tanks which they have fitted with Bond equipment. They are far more influential to the game than the sweaty. Often a team player, they are at the very top of the food chain. The Giga Chad does not fight its opponents. It dances around them. Here we can see one catching its prey. It has caught a shitter. It will feed him for a relatively short amount of time, as unicums require more food than other species, and will have to continue to hunt for prey if it is to survive. What has happened? Everything has stopped. Oh, look, a kappa. These creatures have only one goal in mind: to capture the enemy base. To them, World of Tanks is not a game but a chore. They are selfish creatures who show little regard for their team. Their only concern is with winning and nothing more. Perhaps because their own life is full of failures, winning a game in World of Tanks is the only success they can experience. Regardless, they end the game early, often when the enemy team is on the back foot, and are easy meals for others who need them. Further back into battle, we can find a base-capping tank destroyer, otherwise known as a shit camper, lying motionless in a bush for the entirety of the game. This one is completely oblivious to my presence, because he is stuck in X-25 sniper mode. Regardless if they are winning or not, the shit camper will not move, as they are looking for one specific target: the light tank. They are specialized light tank hunters, using their RNG, random number generator, to snapshot any lights that try to progress the game. This, however, comes at a cost. To balance out the RNG, shit campers are unable to hit slower moving targets, specifically when it comes to defending the base from oncoming attackers. Here we can see this one is about to fall victim to the enemy team, as there are no lights nearby to snapshot. The noob, or juvenile tankers. Inexperienced, often going to strange parts of the map. They are easy pickings for others. There's one right here. I'm going to try to get its attention. Hello, little fella. Remarkable, isn't it? If they survive, most will become the aforementioned shitter. They are virtually identical to the noob, but they have 30,000 or more games. This shitter in the E25 thinks he is invulnerable. Unfortunately for him, that is incorrect. The shitter still plays like a noob. They are far more vocal, often criticizing the team or a single player in particular for a perceived misplay, when quite often it is them that are lacking. Common phrases they share are lemming train, stupid team, gold spammer, rigged game, and more. They are the foundation of the ecosystem in World of Tanks. Without them, all other species would starve. But there is a small group of shitters that are not toxic, simply known as players. They understand their limitations, but still try their best. Like this player, helping the unicum up this obstacle, because the player understands that his abilities are limited and understands teamwork will benefit them both. This mutualistic relationship, unfortunately, is quite rare in World of Tanks. However, it does occur from time to time. Self-propelled guns, SPGs, or oftentimes referred to as artillery, or just scumbag bastard cunts, are creatures that have decided that they do not want to actually play the game, but would rather click their mouse every minute or so, simply to annoy or even ruin a unicum's game. Artillery gameplay is so easy and predictable that they have actually lost the keyboards in minimaps, which means once a predator gets close, the artillery stands no chance of escaping. Its only option is a last-ditch attempt at survival, snapshotting the enemy as soon as their gun is on target, even if the enemy is on reload. They understand that RNG will save them. But RNG mostly works against light tanks, which artillery has the most hatred for. Since light tanks are able to break stalemates and progress the game, artillery specifically target light tanks in hopes that RNG guides their shots into killing them. This allows the game to be extended for the full 15 minutes as both sides camp, giving the artillery ample time to reload. Truly a vile creature. Prokhorovka. The map with the highest light tank population density, it is the prime feeding grounds for all light tanks. Big open space with ample bushes, it is no wonder why lights are attracted to these beautiful fields. The light tank. Known for their speed and agility. Some have even adapted wheels in place of their tracks. Although light tanks can feed normally, scouts specifically do not directly feed on their prey. They allow their allies to catch the meals for them, and they feed on their remains. The light provides the vision, and the allies provide the killing. There are 3 subspecies of light tanks. The fastest lights are known as the clown car, for their resemblance to a car. They attempt to scout the enemy by immediately yellowing to the enemy team just seconds after the match starts. They are all but useless to their team because they usually die within the first minute of the match. On the other end of the spectrum, there are lights that have decided they do not need to use their speed and agility, but would rather take a passive approach, often sitting in the back in a bush that is also useless for their team. The third species of light tank is the passive scout. Using their speed, they can quickly rush into a key position that will aid their team in detecting the enemy. This one has taken up residence in these shrubs, virtually undetectable by anyone but another scout. He is providing an indispensable service to his team. However, through thousands of years of natural selection, the enemy shit campers have learned to blind fire every bush on the map. The blind firing behavior is responsible for the recent decline in scouts over the last few years. In a few more, this species of light tank will most likely be extinct. These are a handful of the most prominent species found in World of Tanks. There are of course thousands of different creatures living in this world. We have only scratched the surface. Although these creatures face challenges that come with survival in the wild, there is a greater force acting upon them. The players themselves. It is quite often easy to become dissatisfied with World of Tanks. It has many flaws and poor game design that can easily upset even the most level-headed individuals. However, it is essential to understand that despite the game's shortcomings, we continue to play it because we enjoy it. World of Tanks is not a chore, it is a video game, and it is important to remember why we play video games. To have fun. If this is not why you or anyone else does it, then there is no reason to play at all.